So, hello, dosto. Welcome to the Bollywood talk show on IWMBuzz. This is your host, Shubhajit, back once again with another interesting guest. Today, we are going to be talking about Nakab. We always talk about two faces, one personality. I think this one series that is going to be talking about that a lot and in a lot of depth. I have with me the lovely Isha Gupta. First of all, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, Saviri. Thank you for this interview.
It's a pleasure. First things first, what I need to ask is that, you've obviously been doing different projects, etc. But, web ka jo platform hai, wahan pe, it's a really dicey thing. Certain things tend to work, which probably people don't expect. Certain things at times people expect ki haan, kaam karega, but it kind of backfires. What was that moment for you when you felt like ki haan, mujhe nakab karna chahiye? What was that deciding factor for you?
I think the fact that, um, in fact, firstly, what I believe, so maybe my belief
Yeah,
is wrong. I really feel that almost every good thing works on web.
yeah,
My thought is different. I mean, what you said, it's
yeah,
different to that because
yeah,
web series has such great content and so
yeah,
story driven.
yeah.
And वो हमें movies में नहीं करने को मिलता.
True.
Movies में हम we'll pick up few formula and वो चलेगा. I mean, we still
Yeah,
have like some films like Article 15, sorry, that just worked
yeah,
brilliant. But it was one
yeah,
of those off things that kabhi chal gayi, nahi chali. Web mein, because
yeah,
the content and the scripts are always hero, which is
yeah,
again nakab. For me,
yeah,
was the moment I got the narration. I had the first meeting through Zoom only, which we all are doing in
yeah,
these. And MX was there, Zoom was there, the director
yeah,
was there, and they had sent me a small synopsis, but uske through pata nahi chalta. And the
yeah,
moment I heard the narration, I got the whole narration. I didn't even know exactly, narration में आपको ये नहीं बताते आप ये है आपका रोल इतना बड़ा है ये जो films में बहुत
yes,
matter. And I
yes,
just heard there no song, nothing, and I was like, okay, I want to be Aditya Amre. Also, the fact that even though I've played cop before, मुझे Aditya Amre
yeah,
जैसा role, so
yeah.
it was an obvious yes for me.
And we always tend to call, label cops like, Lady Singham. That is how we love to, kind of label female cops because, they are equally powerful, just like the men out there. I mean, it's obviously an impactful role that we can keep talking about. But moving
Yeah,
on to the next question that I have is that, when you have these kind of investigative thrillers, sometimes what happens is that, the climax plays a very important role because that's where you get to know कि क्या exactly हुआ कहानी में. Sometimes climax are like absolutely spot on, where sometimes climax में people feel like कि यार ये थोड़ा better हो सकता था. So there are
yeah.
always two sides to the coin, right? So what according to you do you feel कि हाँ मतलब इतने इस project में according to you the USP that will stand out in terms of the climax without revealing too much?
Honest, very honest USP of the
Yeah.
climax. मुझे भी नहीं पता क्या हो रहा है. I swear,
Yeah.
I have not seen the
Yeah.
full edit. I have no
Yeah.
idea what is not. But I also think the makers did it
Yeah.
on purpose so
Yeah.
that you in like hame bhi, because at times it happens, we tend to by mistake only imagine we are laughing and I end up telling you or the next interview
Yeah.
something happened.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thing about this is that even I don't know what is happening. And I
Yeah.
really, that was one of the first things for me whenever I've been
Yeah.
of any thriller, any
Yeah.
mystery. I know exactly like when so many projects have been offered, Subhajit,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
and or the writer and they're giving me the narration and I just look at them and before they can finish I like acha ye hua hai na, this one killed na, this one
Huh.
did na, and they look at me and because I love thriller, I love mystery, I love
Yeah.
horror action, this is more
Yeah.
of the genre I love to watch.
Yeah.
So इतना देख देख के ऐसी आदत हो गई है ना कि अच्छा पता ही है कि क्या होना है, and then
Yeah.
they never told me in the narration, they didn't tell me
Yeah.
to as short, they didn't tell me in the dubbing, so
हाँ. बता ही नहीं basically.
yeah, like there's so many possibilities in my head, all the
Yeah.
possibilities जब आप series as audience जब आप देखोगे मेरे भी दिमाग में
Yeah.
वही है, but वो
Yeah.
last episode में क्या हो रहा है actually मुझे भी नहीं पता, because हम सब actors ने ना
Wow.
शूट किया और अलग अलग शूट किया, वो edit क्या होगा they didn't tell us
Yeah.
on purpose. I
Yeah.
think it's
I think it's a nice surprise element. Certain things should be kept a surprise till the very end. तभी जाके उसका मजा आता है. So I think
I,
that's quite cool. What I want to know from your end next is that the subject, जितना कि मुझे trailer देख के समझ में आया, it involves the death of a famous personality, and the media buzz, the people who are wanting to know everything. Now, this is something that people who are famous, people who are public figures, so to say, they go through in their daily lives. And it's not just the media who do it. A lot of fans also, they sometimes don't
Yeah.
even realize that they're intruding someone's
Yeah.
privacy. You talk about, say, maybe Sushant last year, this year Siddharth Shukla. There are so many cases where we always talk about intrusion of privacy. How do you look at this entire thing, and how do you think we can probably progress towards changing this thing? Because I personally feel that the departed's family, they should be allowed to grieve in peace, and all this buzz should not be there. How do you look at this thing?
I understand the fans' perspective,
Yeah.
because honestly, like, I'll tell you, like, for my example, like, one thing I learned in the beginning of my career was
Yeah.
someone very nicely told me कि कोई भी अगर कभी picture मांगे ना, मना नहीं करना. And this is when I was shooting Jannat. I didn't even know who.
Yeah.
No one knew कौन हूँ मैं. Esha
Yeah.
Gupta कौन
Yeah.
है ही नहीं, किसी को.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
मना नहीं करूंगी, क्योंकि at that time in my head I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's the exciting part.
Yeah.
People asking
Yeah.
for pictures. But they
Yeah.
also told me, because every fan is who makes you, these are the fans who make who you are. A fan is who's
Yeah.
made an Akshay Kumar and Esha Gupta, Deepika, anyone, you name the people. And I was like, yeah, it's true. So I understand when fans are grieving, when fans want to know what has happened. I understand that.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
do not understand when I'm seeing Instagram, Twitter, thank God I'm not there, or I go anywhere and media is hounding them and the cameras on the face. Like, come on, yeah. Like, that's disrespectful. I understand
Yeah.
कि सबको रोजी रोटी कमानी है, सबको वो picture बेच के पैसा मिलेगा. But I think that's where maybe the I don't know, INB minister, someone needs to come on board and say that, hey, listen, you guys can't cover this.
Yes.
Be respectful. So I think that needs to happen. We need to, but it's the same way. I mean, media, there's so many things that they intrude, they don't know about it. And kitna kuch karte hai photographers, and they write things. So I think that's one thing I mean, I ideally would prefer. And, for people, when I watch it, like your heart goes on, but you're just like, come on, let them live. Like you said, let them grieve in peace.
Yes. I think that's very rightly put out, and it should always be a balance about everything. So I think you're right. Maybe some statutory body or whatever, something that keeps some kind of control.
Yeah.
But what I want to know about Naqab next is, there's a funny question. आप देख लो कैसे बताना है आपको. Of course we talk about two double-faced people. हर जगह पे होता है. We face in our childhood, adolescence period, college life, professional life. I'll talk about Bollywood, because I'll talk about the Indian entertainment industry rather. Bollywood is one term I don't like. Indian entertainment industry. Without taking to names, have you come across people whom you thought were actually like totally else, and जान पहचान के बाद पता चला कि अरे यार ये तो कुछ और ही है, इनका नकाब उतरना चाहिए? Have you met across these people ever?
I think most of the people are like that. But you know what, Subhajit? I think I'll say it because you are only saying about the industry. But honestly, my whole family, like, we are not born in the industry and everything, except then because my dad is an ex-Air Force person. So except from people over there, I think everyone I've met, whether like anyone, like all my friends, everyone, not my friends, but when we've grown, you realize even us, like we all have some naqab. But I know what you're trying to say, that they were really nice and then they were not like that. 90% of the people I've met, because वो बोलेंगे कुछ और, but आपको पता है पीछे से कुछ और करेंगे. But the best solution to that is काम से काम रखो and दोस्ती रखनी होती है, which I do. I mean, I won't say whoever I know is bad. No, most of the people I right now, as of now in the industry, are really nice. But वो इतना maintain karo ki they won't even get a chance to say anything about you or be extra nice to, and pata chala jab kaam aaya to nahi hai koi. And I try to be the same.
Please continue.
No, I was just saying that I try to be the same with them, so that even they shouldn't feel मैंने बोला ये था, कर ये रही है. So
but what I want to know from your end, you mentioned right now that your family, you have not been connected to the industry, which itself speaks about the fact that you have worked your way up, मेहनत करके, contacts बना के, networking करके, काम करके आप ऊपर आए हो, and whatever you have achieved, that is because of your own efforts. Now, when you are somebody like this, it's not just maybe a woman, maybe a man, whatever. Industry में ये कहा जाता है कि there are camps out there. So as an outsider, have you ever felt कि maybe I should probably be a part of some camp? शायद मेरा career और ज़्यादा आगे बढ़ जाए compared to how I am probably taking it forward. Did you have these kind of thoughts?
No, it's actually, you're right. I mean, I did think of it. मैं ये नहीं बोलूँगी मैंने कभी नहीं सोचा मैं camps नहीं करूँगी. No. 1-2 years being in the industry, and everyone like जो आपके आसपास, your people you work with, an agents and manager, PR, anyone, you name it, and everyone tells you, actors, you need to be a part of a gang, a camp, so they protect you, they push you for films, they take care of you. But the thing is, I didn't want to be that. And it's not that I didn't try. I tried and I understood. And I was like, no, that's too much of, what we call chaplusi.
Yes.
Too much of that. And I cannot be with a person and be like, oh my God, listen, I love your hair, I love your skin, I love your shoes. पूरे दिन मैं ये करती रहूं कि आप तो भगवान है. नहीं भैया, भगवान ने सामान बनाया. I don't think I'm even going to do that to a Jeff Bezos or an Elon Musk. Though I love Elon Musk, so maybe I'll do it to him. But I don't think I'm going to do it to any other person. You know what I mean? They are all equals. Even God doesn't expect you. God never said, say prayers to me,
correct.
That's when I'm going to do your work. He just says, have a good heart. But camps, I have seen, I've gone through it. It's very much like, just being in. And also another problem about camps happen, except in the fact that you have to keep sucking up to them, is the fact that you have to go. If they say, okay, you shouldn't do this, then you can't do this. If you're supposed to do this, then you're supposed to. And
the choices get limited.
Yeah, and I've seen girls and guys who are in the camps lose on to work. Why? Because isko nahi pasand agar main ye karunga. And they don't want to lose on to the contacts. Though a lot of my work I've lost because of in the people who are in the camp, they've taken my work. But I also feel like, it wasn't my luck. Like maybe it won't have happened either ways for me. I mean, it took me to get this maturity and be like, acha likha hi nahi tha mere liye. But I mean, initially when everyone comes, they feel camp mein hona chahiye. But thanks to the web series and the new people making films, you don't need it anymore. Like someone, like a Guneet Monga kind of producers. You don't need, to work with them, that kind of things. Or like over here, just the other day, they were asking me, what is your next project? I was like, I think MX Player has signed me, and they laughed. I was like, I don't mean it. Like, I know it's just a joke, but you know what I mean? Like, you don't even know who exactly is the person who's deciding, but they look at you and they're like, okay, we want to work with them. And that's so good for people like us, because you see great content and you being a part of that.
What I really loved in this answer is the way you said that despite people having taken your work, you have manifested yourself in that way where you feel that nahi yaar, it is a part of my destiny. Kaam aayega, nahi aayega. I think that's a lovely point which a lot of people can learn from. What I want to know from your end next is that I love asking these people, especially those who have come from outside who don't have a background. Looking back so far in your entire career, what do you think has been the highest point that made you feel ki, I have done something? I'm not talking about being overconfident and proud, but something that has made you feel like ki, I have done something. What has been that point?
I don't know. Honestly, everything has been. Like for me, I think the biggest thing till now, and which I'll never forget, I mean, honestly, any project of mine, whether it's series now or my film, till my last film, which was 2019, my parents watch the movie, and I always sit in between my mom and dad, and I look at both of them, and it's Jannat or Raz, and they still have the same reaction. They still watch me, and then they have tears, and then I get teary, and I'm like, oh my God. And it's really, I think that's an achievement, whatever. Like, and I've seen friends. For me, my family means a lot, that's if you ask me, what are you scared of losing? It's that, so it's like, it's such a big deal for me that I won't say their approval, but them being happy and proud. And I think I've faced this even when I was in school, and because I was always an athlete, and anytime like we're in sports day and I'll see my mom or my dad sitting in the crowd and cheering, and even if I'll get a bronze or just a participation certificate, they'll be so happy. but they always pushed us, for things, and it's the same now. So I think it's that. And the fact that, honestly, the biggest achievement and high as an actor for me is when I'm walking on the road and people recognize me, is the biggest achievement. I know, though during COVID, it's also nice because
it's a balance. You have to understand what's safe and what not.
I know, like now, this time I was in Mumbai and I didn't have my car because my car was in Delhi and I was moving around in cabs and rickshaws and I loved it. Like, take a rickshaw and my boy would be with me and he's like, man, rickshaw. No one cares. I love it. I love them. No one gets to know. So it's balance, and it's a beautiful balance.
And I'm loving it how you say, this after having become a star, people knowing you, just the fact that you still want to live that life which you have probably lived earlier. I think that's a lovely thing. And you mentioned about balance. Balance is, I think, important in everything. So that's really lovely. One last question before we wrap up, because obviously we have limited time. Otherwise, I can keep going on and on. But you have been, as you said, and as we all know, that you have come from outside. Now, it's when it comes to people who are outsiders, especially women, a lot more. I think women face this a lot more. People, coming up with weird offers, maybe something like casting couch, maybe people making women uncomfortable, and the very thought that those women have initially, ki, "Arey yaar, main kahan aa gayi?" Because I don't have people to safeguard me, which probably is the case with, say, somebody who's the daughter of, say, an influential person. You never had that. Did you ever go through anything like that, which probably made you feel uncomfortable, and which maybe made you feel like, yeah, I'm trying to work hard, but then what is all this happening around me? Did you ever have any kind of incident like this in your life?
Yeah, a lot, many times. Because of that, I've lost work. Because of that, I know one of the production houses still hates me, and I've heard it from a couple of people that they've been telling people, and it's one of the big production houses, and they still tell people Esha is unprofessional, where I am one of I would go by the T of the contract, so I'm not unprofessional. But it's only one person who I've heard it say it. But I've had issues with others, where issues as in I've walked out of projects. Like it's because they say this is your project, if and it's like, hey, this is not the reason I left my life and I came here. Because for me, I might be wrong, but my mind processes, it's okay if you're only doing that for money. Because you have to have a livelihood, you have to support your family, and that's the only way you know how to, because you can't find any other way. And it's not easy being unemployed. It's not easy. Everyone can't be educated. Everyone can't have a skill. So I understand that. I have full respect for that. And I really hope it becomes legalized, because they have to have how else do they survive? But do this for work, you are lower than the sex workers, according to me, but that's my mind. For someone who's doing it, good for them. But also, if you're just, also what I don't like is if, the slut shaming. If you're just it because you want to do it and not just for work, I think that's perfect, So I think, I mean, the problem is the hypocrisy in our industry, because most of them act all like the pureness, the men and women, both of them, most of them are married, and they say, oh, only, you'll get, and then you act all pure. That I don't understand. That's the hypocrisy. But if a girl is out there and speaking her mind or something, and that you have a problem with because she's not succumbing to your mind process. So, lost a lot of projects. I've said no. And like I said, one very recent incident of the production house that I told you, because they don't want to work with me because of obvious reasons. And I'm okay with that. Like, you eventually realize you need to there are two options. Either you get so affected and sit at home, which is your choice, or you're just like, what, screw it, and make your own way. And then you find amazing people to work with, like this series, like, even my previous series, you find amazing people, your whole team, like from the beginning till the very end, like till the end, which we are promoting now, you just have like good moments where you're just like, okay, you're excited about it without having any hard feelings against anyone.
Esha, I mean, of course, we weren't introduced earlier in the past. This is the first time we're interacting. But what I can say, genuinely, I'm telling you, Dil se, honestly, I swear, I'm really proud of whatever you have achieved, because you know, ye jo battles hote, these are really, really difficult, especially when you're an outsider. I understand because I have friends as well, you know, who have dealt with the same thing. So I can totally relate in terms of the emotions. Many, many congratulations, kudos, and let those fragile egos be heard. Nobody cares. You are on your own path. May you dominate the industry with your lovely work. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you. Lovely, lovely. It's a pleasure and looking forward to seeing this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.